Welcome to Making Music with Miss Whitney. Last video we talked about the names of the notes between the treble and bass clefs. So we talked about the grand staff and the names of the notes as we go up using the lines and spaces. This video is going to focus on some mnemonic devices to help you quickly give you a shortcut so that you can check yourself or find a different way to learn the names of the notes as you're practicing. So if you want to have this little trick, if we are in the treble clef, the spaces remember this bottom one is E, okay? And we know that we circle around G, so you could either go off of I know this is G because the treble clef is telling me that this second line is G, and you could count from there. You can say, okay, I see that this note is right above G. What comes after G in the music alphabet? A. And you can say, okay, I see this line is G, and this note comes right directly down to the very next space below, which tells me that this note is F because F, G. G comes right after F. So I know that this is F, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Would you look at that? The spaces spell the word face. So that's how you can remember in treble clef very, very quickly. Space rhymes with face. And you would be able to say, given this note, okay, F-A-C, that's a C. You don't have to do the line space, and make sure that you are counting correctly. You could say, well, I know this mnemonic device, F-A-C-E, that's a C. For the lines in the treble clef, there are a lot of different mnemonic devices out there. You can look at them online or ask your music teacher. I'm just going to share with you the one that I learned, which is kind of old-fashioned. But you know that this second line up is G, okay? And if you go through line space, you will find that this is E, then you've got your G, then your B, D, and then finally F. So this is how I learned it. Every good boy does fine. Every starts with E, good starts with G, boy starts with B, does starts with D, and fine starts with F. So if your teacher, or you're playing your instrument, or you're trying to name this note, instead of going, okay, let me see, that's G, second line up, every G, A, B, you could do that. Or you could say, every good boy does fine, that's a B, B for boy, that's the name of the note. For bass clef and the spaces, you could say, I know this second line down is F. What comes right after F? G. What comes right before F? E. Or you could remember this mnemonic device. All cows eat grass. A for all, C for cows, E for eat, G for grass. All cows eat grass. So if your teacher wants you to name a note in bass clef, you could say, well, that's the first space. All cows eat grass. All, that's an A. For lines, you could, again, remember this is F clef, meaning this is the F line in bass clef. So we do know that this is F. And then you could count. You could say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Or backwards, what comes before F, E, what comes before E, D. Okay. Or you could remember this mnemonic. Now, I don't really like this mnemonic because I feel bad for the poor birds who are shamed for flying away, flying free. But this is how I learned it. Good birds don't fly away. And that's just something that you can remember, or you can go on line, and you can look up a different mnemonic device that you would like to use. So what I tell my students is, if it's a space, then you think of cows. If it's a line, you think of birds. And then you know good birds don't fly away, or all cows eat grass. This is a paper that I made kind of illustrating this whole concept. So we will see here that this middle C between the two staves, we're kind of looking at it like this and then like this, right? This middle C is the same note. It's the same exact note, but we are looking separate staves just to make this a little bit more clear. So as we see, middle C is right here, which is on the invisible line. Right after C is right after this line would be the space, and that's D. Right after the space is the line, E, space F, and so we go on. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And if you look at just the lines, every good boy does fine. If you look at just the spaces, it's a face, F-A-C-E. Here, just the lines, good birds don't fly away, and spaces, all cows eat grass. But it's all very mathematical. It all lines up with the alphabet for music, and you can see that it still keeps the integrity of the line, space, line, space, line, space pattern. Hopefully this helps and you're able to know your notes.